All right, I'm back today with a topic that is definitely hot, something I wanted to talk about. It's also something that I don't know a ton about, but I've been doing a lot of research on, and that is NFTs. But of course, before we get into that one, we're going to go through the lineup. We're going to hit the wicks, sticks, and whiskey for today, and show you exactly what we're working with. So for the wick today, the candle, I'm not actually burning it at the moment, but this is the one that I have been burning currently. This one is, again, another one of my own candles. This one is Spice Market, and it's actually one of my favorite candles to burn almost all through the year. Definitely a winter and kind of a fall and winter candle. It's got a lot of spice notes in there, cloves, cinnamon. It's a little bit of berries, but still, like today is a very rainy kind of cold day, so this candle is perfect for today. It definitely gets me a little bit too in the mood for fall and winter coming up. We haven't even hit summer, so I don't know why I'm burning it in the house, but easily one of my favorite ones. So like I said, I burn that one all year round. For today's stick, I haven't actually smoked a cigar today, so this is the one that I'm going to be burning. This one is, I got a Cuban sampler pack the other day. Let's see if I can get in there. And this one is a Romeo Julieta. It is the Deluxe number 3. It's supposed to be a real nice cigar. This is going to be, I think, my 3rd or 4th Cuban that I've actually smoked. Never actually tried the Romeo and Julieta Cuban, so I'm definitely excited to try that one. So I think as soon as I'm done with this video, take the dogs outside, sit down on the deck, and enjoy that thing. And for anybody that doesn't know this cigar, I've got some of the notes right here. This one, obviously Cuban. This one is a Petite Corona Habano, and this one is lots of cedar flavors. Definitely some of that. I mean, it's wrapped in a cedar casing, so a lot of cedar in this one. It also has a lot of leather, nice white pepper notes, and kind of hints of coffee in this one. So definitely excited to get that one going. I tried one the other day. It was the Cohiba Siglo number 2, I believe. That one was actually really nice. And honestly, if I could get that one here a little bit easier in the States, I would pick that one up constantly. And for the drink today, see if I can get that in there. No whiskey right now. I'm recording this video a little bit early, so it's a little early for the bourbon, whiskey, anything like that. So I went with just a straight espresso with a little bit of cream. The espresso is from Bankroll Coffee. I'll include links to that if anybody's curious down below. But definitely a nice, good alternative, stepping away from the whiskey or bourbon. So that'll be in the next one. I do have 2 new bottles. I got a just a basic bottle of Buffalo Trace, and then I got a new bottle of Woodford Reserve Double Oak, which I've never tried before. I did try it for the first time the other night. It's really good, so I'm going to go through, talk about that one on the actual episode, and give some kind of basic thoughts on that one. But like I said, the main topic on this one, I wanted to talk about NFTs, and this is something that obviously, if you're paying attention at all out there, NFTs are absolutely everywhere. Any influencer out there is talking about them left and right. Companies are talking about them, and probably the biggest thing coming out of all this is how much of a scam these things are. And of course, if you are unfamiliar with NFTs, it stands for non-fungible token, and it's basically a digital ownership of it's a digital piece tied to the blockchain. So it can be just about anything. And the stuff that's going around right now is basically JPEGs. A lot of different digital art are getting tied with NFTs. And there's a ton of stuff out there about why they're a scam, what people are doing, money laundering, anything like that. Now, I will admit there are a ton of NFT scams out there. Not only like people selling a bunch of NFTs for hundreds of thousands and doing nothing with them, but also the scams as far as like crypto and everything is concerned. But all that stuff is happening before NFTs. It's going to happen after NFTs. So there's a lot of stuff out there, but I definitely fall on the side of somebody who does like NFTs. But like I said, I don't know a ton about NFTs, but I do see the value in the NFTs, and I do see kind of where that technology is going to go in the future. Now, of course, right now, the biggest thing out there is all the NFT digital products. So NFTs, like digital art that come from people like Beeple, Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, you've got Gary Vee with VeeFriends, and of course, countless others. Now, this is definitely where I go back and forth on whether or not I like these. And I'm going to get to a point in this video where I talk about where the NFTs will go eventually and where I think a lot of people will go, oh yeah, I definitely get it now. So I'll get into that one here in a second. But for right now, I think a lot of NFTs are wildly overvalued. The value just isn't there with a lot of these things. And that's where you're seeing a lot of pump and dump scams, a lot of rug pull scams. I mean, you've got porn actresses getting into NFTs and just soaking people for millions and then walking away. And that's where, again, going back to somebody like Gary Vee, who specifically stated 99% of NFTs that are out right now are going to go to zero. So it's really the wild, wild west of NFT creation. I mean, we're just in kind of the infancy of this, even though it's been out for a while. Everybody's hitting that gold rush mentality. And again, I've wanted to jump in on this one because they are on the rise so much, but there's so much unknown for me around NFTs that I've completely stayed away from them, even though I was paying attention to a lot of these things in the beginning. Again, I follow Gary Vee quite a bit. I like a lot of what he does. I love his NFTs and what he's doing with them. I will say that he is one of those people, along with somebody like Bored Ape and CryptoPunks. They're trying to put a lot of value into their NFTs instead of just putting out digital art, calling it $100,000 and then walking away. But with some of those entry-level prices being so high and me not knowing the long-term value of these things, it just doesn't make sense to go spend $5, 10, 15, 20,000, even down to $1,000 on an NFT if I don't know what's going to happen with it 5 years from now. If I'm not convinced that this thing is going to be worth anything 5 years from now, or even 5 months from now, I'm at the point where I'm like, why would I even buy that? But the areas that I do see value in NFTs is when that stuff starts to transfer over and you're buying concert tickets, NHL tickets, NBA tickets, NFL football tickets. When you're buying these things, instead of going through something like Ticketmaster, you're buying an NFT ticket. And the reason why that's going to be so valuable is because that ticket is tied to the blockchain. So it's secure, it's one of one. You buy that ticket, you are the only holder of that ticket. It's going to be a lot harder unless you lose your ticket or somebody signs into your account, which can happen with anything. But if you buy a concert ticket, and it's an NFT concert ticket, it's in your wallet. You can't really lose that ticket unless you hand it to somebody else. Whereas getting something like right now, and I think that's where people are really going to come into their own, or people are going to start to understand NFTs and get them a little bit more, is people are already buying digital products. People are buying digital tickets. I mean, the last concert, or actually comedy show for Dave Chappelle that I was going to go to, I bought everything through Ticketmaster and everything was digital. Went to my email, down to my phone, everything was digital. I didn't handle anything by hand through the entire process, and it was in my phone. But again, if somebody breaks into my Ticketmaster account, they can just print off those tickets and go in front of me at the show. And that's where I think the benefit of having some of these concert tickets, and this is just one lane. There are a million different ways where NFTs can go, but this is the one that really stuck out to me and made me go, okay, now I see the value of these things. I see the collectability of these things. And like people are doing now, when you buy an NFT, you can then turn around and sell that NFT if the value is there. And again, I do see the value in some of these things also with concert tickets. A lot of people like to have keepsakes or keep things when they go to like a Chicago Bears game or something like that. People like to hang on to their tickets. I know, especially back in the day when concert tickets were paper tickets and they tore them. I still know people to this day who have a lot of their concert tickets saved. And that's where I think the added value to these NFT concert tickets, sports tickets, anything like that are going to continue to have value, and where companies can actually add on future value to a lot of these things. But having said that, some of these things really don't need to have added value after the show. If I go out and then I buy a ticket for Rage Against the Machine, if they do like a follow-up tour, come back together, I go buy a ticket. It's $150 as an NFT concert ticket. I go through, buy the ticket, show up to the show. I use my wallet to get entrance into the show. And then after the show, that NFT is done. I still have the concert ticket in my NFT wallet. It's a keepsake for me if I want to keep it. it. And that's where the value can go one of two ways. It can be completely worthless after that. But again, I already saw the show. So if I don't have any more value for it after the show, I'm not out anything. I still have that NFT. I saw the show. It cost me $150 or whatever it was. So I got my money's worth from that. Where I think companies can really add on extra value to those NFTs. And I think what's going to start happening is what they're trying to do right now with some of these NFTs is add future value. So if you are a NFT holder for something like VeeFriends, Gary Vee's NFTs, it gets you access to certain things years down the road, like his VCon conference that's coming up. I believe with Bored Ape, you can get into certain shows if you're a ticket holder or if you're an NFT holder. So there are things that you can do. And I think that's where something like, say Rage Against the Machine sells all their tickets through NFTs. And then after that show, depending on the city that you were in, if you had, like I live near the Seattle area, which is where they would play if they were going to, if I bought a Rage Against the Machine Seattle NFT ticket, it could be a year or two down the road, a month or two down the road, where they release specific kind of area-centric t-shirts or memorabilia that only somebody with that NFT or that's holding that NFT could actually buy that shirt, album, anything like that. And then they could turn around and make items that are specific to that area. So only people in Seattle would be able to get the Seattle Rage Against the Machine t-shirt, or somebody in LA, Chicago, Miami, anything like that. So you would have to have that specific NFT to get that shirt. And of course, this is where the future value comes in. Not only do you get access to a shirt that not everybody's going to have access to, but if you really didn't care to get that shirt, you could then turn around and sell your NFT ticket to somebody who is a huge Rage Against the Machine fan and wants to collect every single one of those tickets. And that's where the future value comes into some of these tickets. So if I had my Seattle NFT ticket, I could turn around and sell it to a huge fan. And the price is, I mean, it's up to the market where the value comes in. I mean, it could be worth $10, it could be worth $1,000. And of course, that's where the market is really going to decide the future value and the price on those. And the benefit to having something like that is, again, I paid $150 for the ticket. I went to the show, I saw the concert, and then afterward, I really don't care to get the Seattle t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and turn around and sell my NFT ticket to $50 for someone else. And now that person can now get the Seattle specified shirt or the Miami shirt, Chicago shirt, whatever they release. So not only did I buy the ticket for $150, see the show, I then turned around and sold my ticket for $50. And of course, the person who got that got extra value because now they have access to specifically branded or region specific merchandise that somebody might release. And I think where it gets really cool with some of the NBA tickets, NFL tickets, NHL tickets is I think you could really tie in something like the sports cards or the trading cards that are out there, which a lot of people have been into. It's definitely taken a big swing in the last several years with collectible sports cards being kind of really popular again. So again, with this one, I think it kind of goes along the same lines in what I'm thinking and how you can bring a ton of value to these tickets is you're going to go out, you buy a ticket to an NBA game, which of course is an NFT game. You go there, you watch the game, and then afterward, if the organization, Blazers, Bulls, anything like that, if they were to then go through and add kind of highlights or pictures, whatever they were doing from the game that night to your NFT, and honestly, you could put anything on those. So if you sold 20,000 tickets in a night, you could put the exact same picture. If there was like a huge game highlight and somebody took a picture of it, you could put that NFT across all 20,000 tickets, or you can break it down even more, which is where I think kind of the cool factor comes in and where I think you really pick up a lot of the collectors and make those NFT tickets kind of future proof and add a lot more value down the road. So if you went to a game and you sat in like section 215 and after the game was over, they updated your NFT and put a specific picture that was only on section 215. So if you're watching LeBron James out there, he hits a jumper, they put that screenshot, that picture on your NFT, and every single section in the arena has a different picture. I think that's where you get the collectability and make those NFT tickets have a lot of future value, which I honestly think could be really cool. So if you were to go back, let's say you bought a game to the NBA championships way back in the day when Michael Jordan and the Bulls were playing against the Cavs, and you happened to be in the section And after the game, they go through, they're uploading a bunch of shots. And of course, that game was famous for Michael Jordan's, the quote unquote, the shot. They kind of sealed the deal for that game. And you happen to be in that section, 107, 213, whatever they uploaded that picture to. If you were a big Michael Jordan fan or a big collectible fan, you would definitely have people who would be scrambling to buy that NFT, that specific picture in that section, so that they could have that section kind of added to their NFT collection. And obviously you're not going to get every section. It kind of comes down to what baseball cards, basketball cards are today. Some of them are extremely valuable, some of them are not valuable at all. And of course you're going to find that with all the games too. Now, of course, I do understand what kind of manpower and what kind of the kind of man hours that go into something like that. I mean, if you're playing 86 games, let's call it 42 home games or something like that, and you've got 20,000 tickets per home game, you're going to be uploading however many sections, 30, 40, 50 sections, 50 different pictures on a bunch of those different NFTs. But I think you will see a lot of organizations doing stuff like that to make their tickets kind of future valuable. And again, if you never wanted to collect any of things, you're not out anything. The NFT isn't screwing you. You bought a ticket, you watched the game, you had an amazing time, and when you walk out, you're done. If you do like the NFT style of it or the side of it, you can then turn around and put your NFT section, picture, whatever they uploaded for that night, the game that you went to, you could put that on OpenSeas and sell it. Again, $10, $100, $1,000. And of course, the market is going to be wide open and really dictate those prices. But I can almost guarantee if an organization were to do that and actually upload that picture, if you were to see Michael Jordan's The Shot come up on your section and you bought an NFT ticket, that thing would shoot through the roof. I mean, there are collectors out there that would absolutely pay good money to have that in their collection. And of course, by that time, you're going to see a lot of NFTs start to come around and really kind of show their value, which is where I think a lot of NFTs are losing today. There are just so many out there that are jumping on the bandwagon, getting into the gold rush, pumping these things up, and then rug pulling out because they're never going to do anything with them. So these were just some kind of quick thoughts, some ramblings that I was going over in my head. I heard some people talking about this kind of thing. It definitely made sense to me. Let me know if it makes sense to you or if I'm just completely lost. I do go back and forth on this one. I see a lot of NFTs that I think are absolutely worthless, but I do see where the NFT market and the game is going and where that value is really going to take off. But that's it for me. I'm going to take this candle back upstairs, light it. I'm going to take the cigar and the dogs outside and smoke this thing. And in a future video, I'll come back and let you know exactly how this thing was. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that about the video, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to go through and answer all of those. The videos are still new, so there's almost no comments, so I will definitely answer them. But we'll see you in the next video.